Hey everybody, it's Joe with J Blake Photo. I wanted to do a video on the newest app from Adobe. If you've been watching photo news recently, you've actually seen that Adobe just released a slew of updated apps, and they've announced Photoshop for the iPad, which is super exciting. For those of you subscribed to my channel, you know that I love using my iPad to do all sorts of stuff, from video editing, photo manipulation, all sorts of stuff. I never leave home without my iPad Pro, so I'm super excited to have Photoshop on there soon. I know it won't be till next year, but I'm excited to have it when it comes. Another thing that you'd know if you watch my channel a lot is that I love doing video editing with Luma Fusion on my iPad. And at the Adobe Max conference this week, Adobe announced Adobe Premiere Rush CC, which is their video editor for the iPad. Now this immediately had me excited, but also a little worried that maybe it wouldn't meet all my needs, but I know it is designed specifically for folks who are editing and posting to YouTube. I have literally not even opened the app yet. I have installed it on my iPad, but I kind of figured I would take you along for the journey, and we could see what this app has in store. I'm going to copy some drone footage that I recently captured while I was on a trip to California, and I'm going to throw that on a card and get that onto the iPad and use that as an opportunity to test out this app on my 10.5 iPad Pro. All right, so I've got the footage that I want. I'm gonna go ahead and use my camera connection kit. I guess it used to be called the camera connection kit. Now it's just called the SD reader. Check out my other videos about this adapter. This is my favorite accessory for my iPad. Okay, so what follows is an actual first time use of this application. I've loaded some videos from my California trip onto this iPad. I've got the screen recording. So let's hop in and see how it looks. Okay, it's telling me I need to update. I'm gonna hit cancel. I hope there's no major bug fixes or new features that came in that update, but I can't imagine that there's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit create new project. Okay, and so it comes with sample stuff. Okay, I want to use my stuff, but that's cool. It's cool that they give you some sample stuff just to play with. Okay, so and you can name it down here. So I'm gonna call this California. I'm gonna have to spell California, right? California Beach Sunset. Okay, I've got that. I've got Sync with Creative Cloud on. I'm kind of curious if that means that if I use this app on my iPhone, if it'll sync the project. I wonder if it'll also sync the video. These videos are going to be gigabytes worth of video, so I don't know if that's going to be something that they're going to do. Okay, it looks like I've got a choice between different local options and bringing stuff in from the cloud. I don't see the option to add additional cloud spaces like Google Drive or Box. I don't use those to store video. I don't really use much of anything to store video in the cloud, so other than like iCloud. So I'm gonna click on videos here, and there's some videos from recent stuff, and here are the videos that I want to use. Okay, so I tapped on one. That's nice that you can select more than one at a time, and it just tells it that it's going to be one. Okay, and they're down here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, so that's nice. So those are the 5 videos that I want, and I'm going to hit create. Okay, it's preparing media. I was worried there for a second. I didn't know what it was doing. You're all in this with me, everybody. Preparing media. Oh, hey, we got it. Okay, so it looks like it put all my clips together, which I guess is cool. Okay. Let me just kind of play through this and see what it's got. Okay, so this is a clip that I took towards the end of the evening of the surfers going into the sunset. Okay, so that clip actually goes to the end, so I'm going to drag that. Dragging is the same, it seems, as in like iPhoto or iMovie or anything like that. So this seems pretty self-explanatory. Okay. What if I don't want these? Okay. Well, that's nice. You got a lot of track options, that's good. I'm just clicking buttons now. Okay, so over here it looks like you've got the ability to show and not show your audio. These are all drone clips, so there's no audio associated with them. Okay, it looks like we've got the ability to add additional video tracks, so we can kind of throw stuff around here if we wanted to, so that's nice. I'm going to keep that right over here. It's got a magnetic style timeline, very similar to Final Cut, so there's that. And then my project media, which is nice. So then what happens if I just decide that I don't want any of this in here and I just want to put it all in myself, like I was editing it with in and out points myself. So if I tap this, I can't seem to tap these. There's no, oh, okay. That was a bit delayed. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh, duh, this is the sequence. Okay, so it really is a lot like Premiere. Okay, so I'm gonna tap, for those of you who don't use Premiere and use Final Cut, the sequence is very similar to your project. Okay, so I've got this file here, but I don't want the whole file. And now somehow I have a second sequence. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to be playing with tracks, so I don't need that. I do want to see as much of my video as I can, so I'm going to turn that off, bring that down. Okay, I like that. That's nice. This is a better view than I get out of Luma Fusion, so that's cool. I don't see a way to set an in or out point. Okay, so do I just drag these? Okay. Okay, so I'm just kind of dragging out the edge here to give myself a longer clip. In hopes of getting back to the original version of the clip, I might just delete it and redrop it. Okay, so it's not letting me drag it out any further, so I'm going to assume that this is now the beginning of my clip. So I'm going to hit play here. Okay, so that looks good. Scrub through that just a little bit here. Okay, so you can see where the drone kind of stopped. So I'm going to back that up just a little bit here. Okay, then I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to drag this, and then it snaps to there. Okay, and then play. It would just be, I think, easier to have like in and out points. I know I can cut it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm not not looking to make a really long clip. I do like that I can do this in portrait if I want to. Can I zoom this in? I can do titles, transitions, color, we'll get to that in a second. Audio basics, transform. Okay, so if I wanted this to be zoomed in a little bit here. Okay, so that's movement. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, well, that seems pretty cool. I'll go ahead and close that panel there. So that's not too bad. Okay, let me go to another clip here. I'll add that. I think it's actually the same clip, but we're going to add just a different part here. And we'll go ahead and do the same transform here. Okay. Play through there. We're learning, people. We're learning as we go here. Oh, I dragged it to the other side of that clip. All right, so here we go. We'll just go ahead and slice and dice there and trash that, and I can just hear all of you screaming through YouTube. Just cut it with the scissors. I know, but I like in and out and drop. I learned on a tape deck with a jog wheel. That's just how I'm an old dog. Okay. Okay, that's about as long as I can take that. So we're gonna go ahead and trash the rest of that. And so we've got this. All right, let's add from a different clip here. Okay, so I know there's some cool flying there, so we'll go ahead and chop to there, and then kind of fly through to here-ish. I want to make that turn, so we'll do that, and then this can go away. Okay, that's fine. And then let's find one more piece right about there. Let's just do that right there. So we'll cut there. I'm looking forward just a little bit here. Just to about there. We'll cut there. Oh, no, too far. Back it up. There we go. We'll cut there. Okay, and then I'll just trash the rest of this. And I think we've got a good amount here to play with. Okay, so we've got about a minute just to play with. So if we scroll through there, all right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go to this clip and modify this one to be $175. Okay, and same with that one. I'm not sure which clip I was editing there, if it wasn't that one. Okay. All right, so I think we've got some stuff to play with here. Okay, so now let's go back to the color. I want to look at that. Okay, so these are built-in presets. All right, so it looks like we've got cinematic. Let's just see what cinematic looks like. Ooh, that's very, very, very punchy. I did shoot this all in log, so this all should be relatively flat. So we should be able to get quite a bit out of it with some of that color correction here. Okay, we've got film as an option. Looks like it's a little desaturated there. A little Kodak film, that's good. Okay, some other film stocks. Cool. Looks like it's got some interesting options here. Okay, so I'm gonna go none. Let's go to edit. Ooh. It looks like we actually have a few of the Lumetri color tools, similar to what you would find in Premiere. Okay. Okay, so things are getting a little interesting here. Okay, so let's just kind of do what we would normally do for a flat profile, right? So we'll just kind of increase our saturation a little bit. I'm going to bring up the exposure just a little bit. I don't have scopes, so I can't really tell if there's anything else that, like if I'm doing anything wrong, but I got to do it by eye. No different than if you're using Luma Fusion. So this isn't going to be too crazy. We'll bring the contrast up a little bit. Okay, we'll bring the highlights up and bring the shadows down. Okay, and then we can turn that on and off just to kind of see how we're doing. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then we've also, there's a faded film option. Let's see what that does. All right, kind of washes it out a little bit. That's nice. And then you can add sharpening. Just a little bit of sharpening. And there's a vignette option that doesn't. Oh, you know what? I'm cropped in, so that's probably why it's not doing it that way. That's fine. Okay. Well, those are not bad at all. And then you can create a preset, which is really nice. Cool. Okay. I don't see in here the option to pull in a LUT, which is really one of the great things about I've already forgotten it. Luma Fusion. That's one of the really great things about Luma Fusion is the fact that you can bring in LUTs. So we can't do that here. I do like the transform controls. They are very nice. You've also got cropping, which is good. I don't see any kind of options for keyframing any of this. So obviously this is a first Obviously, this is kind of like a first run at this for Adobe on a mobile platform at least. So let's see what happens if we try and drop a title on here. Kind of see what it does. Okay. All right, so you can't modify the title inside the canvas. It looks like you need to move it using the transform selection. What happens if I put something in here and then later on in the video I move it? Does it move with it? No. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and trash that. So no, doesn't look like there's a lot of animation keyframe options available either. Okay, and then we've got a feedback option. Okay, let's go over here. Just make sure that I'm not missing anything. Let me undo that. Okay. I don't know what that does, but okay. Okay, here. Okay, I think that's everything. Let me just apply these same color profiles me just make a preset here. I'm going to create a preset, and we'll just call it October Beach Sunset. Okay. And then we will go ahead and add it to our other clips. It doesn't look like there's an option for an adjustment layer of any kind. But okay. Oh, and then you can control the intensity up or down, which is nice. I'm going to keep that at 100 or so. Okay, perfect. All right. So I think we're good. Let's share. And I'm just going to share this to. I'm going to share this to my photos. Hit export. So this is a 1-minute clip shot in 4K with some color correction and some editing. And also actually, and it's got the crop, and we've changed the ratio around, and so that's exciting. That could potentially cause quite a bit of time to render. Doesn't look like it's taking too long. It's about halfway done, which isn't bad. It's about on par with what we'd expect with Luma Fusion. Maybe a little bit slower. Okay, so now I have finished exporting my video, and it's asking me if I want to post it to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Behance. I'll probably throw that up on Instagram, but what I want to do is I want to just check and make sure that it's you know what, I didn't see this quality settings button. Let me take a look at that. So this is resolution 1080 by 1920, which is good. Okay, so not a whole lot of options there. Let me go back to home, and I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to use videos here, and I'm just going to throw in another video and hit create. I want to test something really quick. Okay, so now if I were to do nothing to this video and hit share and look at the quality settings. Ooh. Okay, so this is working at 1920 by 1080. This footage was shot in 4K. So it's downsampling all my video. Luma Fusion, if you work in 4K and export in 4K, you get 4K. But I definitely shot this in 4K, and it is downsampling it to 1080p, which, considering the time it took to render it, that's actually kind of a disappointment. But okay. Let me check to see if it's actually in my photos now. All right, well, it's there. Okay. It's there, we can see it, so we know that it was saved, but it was saved at 1080p. And I'm kind of curious what the quality is going to be like with that kind of a downscale. That definitely gives me some thoughts. Okay, so a couple things just right off the bat. Number one, the fact that it does not export in 4K. Number two, I didn't see anything in there with speed controls. Nothing about being able to make the video run at a different speed. Also didn't see anything in there about keyframing for animations or anything along those lines. So those are all things that we would really love to see in Premiere Rush. Although I do see, I really like the color controls. Those are actually really nice. Having a curve control would be good. Very easy to use. The user interface is very simple, not too cluttered, seems good. I probably won't replace Luma Fusion just yet, although if they add a couple of those features in there, it's probably going to be my go-to for editing on the iPad. So they're getting really close, so that's really nice. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me your thoughts on this app, or maybe something that you've noticed as you've been trying it out. Go ahead and hit like on this video if this is the kind of thing that you enjoy watching on YouTube, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I do videos like this all the time. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.